That's you.
The journey that I'm going to tell you as I walk down the Wilhelmina Pier is a story, well, I guess it has to be the one of moving here, of moving to Rotterdam. It starts, I guess, 1 year ago when I received an email from a woman called Leslie. In that email she said that the university here would like to have me and give me a place. And I was in the library at the time, and I had to be quiet, but I screamed with excitement. I was really, really pleased. I went outside and kind of had to shake down, had to smoke a cigarette, and then go back in and reread the email over and over and over. So anyway, yes, I decided I didn't email back straight away, but I definitely wanted to move to Rotterdam. But I didn't know if that was definite, but I wanted to. I emailed back 2 or 3 days later. Then I began to tell people I was moving to Holland and Rotterdam, and I guess, yeah, sold some of my stuff over the summer last year, trying to get rid of that. DJ decks, sold them. Things that I didn't think I'd need or couldn't take with me. So the actual journey, I mean, I came here twice. I did one move where I arrived, me and my friend Chris drove me, and his girlfriend Sarah, and we'd been at a festival for the weekend in England, and then on the Monday evening we caught a ferry. So we basically did a long drive through kind of Cambridgeshire, where the festival was, and down to Essex, where you could get the boat, you could get the ferry. It was a very long drive. We went for fish and chips on the water by the ferry port just before we got on the boat. And then when we got to the boat, there was a problem where they couldn't open the door of the ferry, like for all the cars to come in. That was strange. That kind of made me feel a bit nervous all of a sudden, and I was on the phone to my mum, and she was getting nervous as well, being like, why can't they open the door? It's a sign, you can't get on the boat. So eventually it did open, but quite late, and we sat in a van for a very long time, not going anywhere, with me kind of wild with excitement and nerves about just driving into a new city the very next morning. Actually consequently had quite a lot to drink on the boat when we did eventually board, so I could kind of kill my nerves and get to bed. Eventually got into my cabin at around 2 a.m. Then we woke about 5:45 with the cabin alarm, saying all must get into their vehicles, all about to depart, otherwise if you stay in bed you'll be sent back to where you've just come from. So we got into the van, drove out onto the Hook van Holland, and I was a bit too tired to kind of realise that I was in my new city, or new country, then. Drove into Rotterdam, drove down a bike lane, drove on the right hand side, and had nowhere to go. This was the strangest thing about moving to a new city, is that we actually had nowhere. I had no place to go. I had no house. I had no friends here. We drove around and were just looking at. I was pointing at Delfshaven because I heard that it was a cool spot to look for a house. So we were driving around, nowhere to park. Couldn't park the car anywhere, and spent 3 hours looking for a chip knip so we could actually pay to keep the car somewhere. Eventually got a chip knip, but it was a very hard morning, kind of getting in at 6 a.m. Didn't get a chip knip till 9. I think my first 3 hours in this country was trying to understand the chip knip and where I could buy one.